And I also want to touch on what I remember reading in the book there around Lactobacillus reuteri. Once it's in your stomach, does it stay there? Or is one having to take it, say, every second day or every day to keep it there?
One of the problems, not just with Reuteri, but virtually all probiotic species, is if your mom gave it to you by passage through the birth canal, breastfeeding, contact, if mom gave it to you, you'd have it for a lifetime, barring exposure to antibiotics, preservatives, emulsifying agents, synthetic sweet, all that stuff that disrupts the microbiome. But if mom gave it to you, it should have been there for a lifetime. Of course, we are exposed to all those things and have lost Reuteri and other species. But if you get Reuteri or other microbial species as a probiotic, say, or as a yogurt or other fermented food, it takes up residence for days, maybe a few weeks, and that's it. Why? Well, nobody knows, but the assumption, the theory is that microbes need communities. We call them guilds or consortia. That is, microbes feed each other. It's just like humans. We don't live in isolation. We have families, partners, neighbors, co-workers, communities. Microbes are the same. Microbe A, let's say Leuconostoc mesenteroides, produces lactate that Faecalibacterium prausnitzii needs to proliferate. That in turn produces butyrate that nourishes other microbes. So we don't know though what the community of Reuteri should be. I think in future, probably in a few years, we'll say, okay, what we do is we replace Reuteri along with these 4 or 5 other species. So they cross feed and they take up long term residence. So far, no one's figured that out. The other thing about Reuteri, as I mentioned, is it's unique. Very few species can do this. You take it and it colonizes the mouth, the esophagus, the stomach, the duodenum, the jejunum, the ileum, and the colon. So it colonizes you from mouth to anus. It may even colonize other places like the vagina in ladies. So it's really a remarkable organism. And I really, truly, by dumb luck, sheer dumb luck, I picked one that is probably the major driver of health, body shape, youthfulness, and gastrointestinal microbiome health.
And are the effects almost instant, or will it take a few days to see some of the benefits that you mentioned?
So the timeline loop depends on the effect. So the increased moisture in the skin and increased libido and better sleep, much better sleep, develops typically within 3 to 5 days. It's very quick. The loss of wrinkles typically takes 8 to 12 weeks because you have to build up collagen. And by the way, we measured there's a method called high resolution skin ultrasound. You can measure the thickness of the dermis. It's the epidermis on the surface, it's the dermis just below, but it's the dermis that's alive and determines skin health. We measured dermal thickness over 3 months. We get a 15% increase in dermal thickness, which is hands down better than anything else ever seen in skin health. Uh, so that takes some weeks. The increase in strength, typically within 4 weeks. The increase in libido is rapid. There are things that take a long time. We know that Reuteri preserves bone density, but that takes a long time. That's like a year. The one clinical trial where 10 billion counts of Reuteri was given to older ladies, 75 to 80 years old, versus placebo. Placebo ladies, of course, lost a lot of bone density. Reuteri ladies lost half as much. That's all they did, just Reuteri. No, nothing else. No vitamin D, no exercise, nothing else. Just Reuteri. So that takes a long time. So the timeline varies in all, depending on which measure you're looking at.
Thanks for watching this clip of the Getting Mental podcast. If you like this clip, check out the full episode here or more clips here.